Hey guys, welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my cactus live stream, plant live stream. Vegetables, I brought the chili again. They need water. They need water all the time. So I have them pretty much every day now in the live stream. And I have a lot of cactus seedlings again. Yeah, I brought a new thing. Hey, good morning. Great to see you. Hope you are all right. I brought something to make sure that in the future the desk isn't always messy, and this allows you to still see what I'm doing. Feel like this is a good compromise, and I will try that out later. I really like these boxes. They're great for sewing out. They're great for working in them. Really like them. Yeah, and a lot of seedlings again today. And then I want to discuss the stuff that, like, I'm currently buying a few of the supplies needed for the new season. And I try to get it all now. So I've been looking for new pots, buying new pots, new soil. Some of the, like, I needed new charging cables. I needed new hard drives, that kind of stuff, you know, to continue just doing the work that I do this year. And yeah, I'm currently just busy looking for all the stuff that I need. And I really want to get it done within the next 7 to 10 days. Because that will make it easier for me to say, okay, you know, here's something where I earned money and I instantly put it back into the company. I want to have that in my bookkeeping, you know. So yeah, that's why I'm currently trying to get it all done very fast, trying to get more of these square pots for sowing out. I'm waiting for the new delivery of the new sowing soil, so there will be lots of new stuff. Yeah, so let's get started. Chili time. This is developing nicely. It's starting to grow, starting to get a few side shoots here. They haven't really grown much yet. So I will try to repot them very soon. Like, I want to up pot all the chilies the moment I have the new pots that I ordered. They're in the mail and should arrive within the next few days. Yeah, and apart from that, they need water now. This one's also starting to flower, by the way. The bigger one that I had, it's currently flowering with 2 or 3 flowers. And here I can see the first ones. So that is great. Let me see what kind of a cultivar this is. Chili Ciliega Pagano. I really need to look into that, trying to Google that cultivar. But yeah, looking good. We'll get water. Let me get the watering tub here that I brought in to water stuff now. This is better than the other one because in this one you can see what you can actually see what I'm doing a little bit. Yeah, and I want to buy, by the way, I want to buy a microphone for the live stream. So I've been currently looking at microphones that I can then use with the smartphone. And that will mean that the quality of the sound will get better, and I'm really happy about that. So yeah, a lot of big developments on the live stream at the moment. It's great time. Okay, so I want to water that a bit, just spraying it. And the moment the new pots have arrived, I will repot this plant. This should already be in a bigger pot. But for now, I'm making up for that by watering it more often. Yeah, and when the new pots arrive, we will repot that. I already put together a potting table where we can film. Yeah, and everything's nice and interesting. You know, interesting times for the channel. So much new stuff. It's fun. So next one here. This is another chili. And this is the one that I used a little piece of wood to keep it up because it was constantly falling over. Yeah, so I used a little piece of metal here, these little metal wire things here that I use for the labels when I'm doing hybrid pollinations. And yeah, that keeps the plant on the piece of wood. For now it's going good, but this one's growing slower than the others. Okay. Also water, a little bit of rain. I really like that. Okay. So next one. By the way, is there a label in this one? I didn't see a label. Is that one of those tiny labels that instantly fell into the pot? Could be. Some of those labels that I had bought, they were just bad. They were so small that they fall into the pot. And when they are inside, you don't find them anymore. Here's another one, and this plant is weird. I'm not sure why. But this is also chili. Could be variegation, but I'm honestly not sure. This could also be something pathological. For now, it just looks freaky. No idea. The cultivar here, chili charapita. Something like that, yeah, charapita. I will look that up later. I try to remember that so I can see if maybe that is a cultivar that has these weird leaves. It's definitely weird. It looks like a virus, honestly. To be honest, this looks a little bit like these classic viral infections. So I will look into that very critically. I'm not really worried that it might spread so fast. But yeah, I need to look into that cultivar and see if that maybe is part of that. Some of them are. Some cultivars are just weak. Okay, little bit of rain. Yeah, I love that. I love that thing. This is fun. Maybe I can one day get one that is completely 100% transparent. But this is already a good beginning. I can water and you can see what's going on. Okay. Yeah, nice. I'm happy. They're growing. I mean, that thing here doesn't bother me at all. Like that is the remnant of that pressed pot that I used to sow out. But yeah, at some point I will get rid of that, but it's currently so grown into that we're just leaving it. Let me see what kind of a cultivar this is. California Reaper. Yeah, nice. Looking forward to that. I just like plants that can defend themselves. So yeah, this needs a little bit of water. Just spraying them a little bit. Yeah, and by the way, this week I got a comment under one of the videos that how can they flower if they are in such small pots? That was the comment. And I just wanted to say, in my opinion, I think they flower pretty easily in small pots, at least the way I see it now. Most of the chili that I have, they are already showing the first sign of flowering pretty early on. Of course, if you have them in a smaller pot, you need to make sure that they get water, that they get all the nutrients, that they get a good fertilizer. And since the pot is a little smaller, it can't hold so much at once, so you might have to do it more often. But generally, you could grow them a little bit like in liquid culture, just a relatively small pot and a lot of water and a lot of nutrients, you know. But yeah, I will repot them every time they reach the pot. Every time they are getting root bound, I will repot them at least to a certain point. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to have these gigantic chilies in the house, but I will let them grow, and if they want to grow into a bigger pot, then I'm happy. Okay, a little bit more. And then we're starting with a little cacti. Just wanted to get these watered because they are so weak. Like compared to cacti, dehydration can affect these pretty fast. Okay. Gotta get that top out of my face. Just for a second. I'm not sure. Usually I had planned to have that top here the whole video. But it's like I'm putting my head into a bucket and you're screaming into a bucket with your head in it. It's like I've been hearing an echo. So let me go through the seedlings now. I have a lot of them here, and I just want to check on every one of them. Most of them need water, and that's what I will give them today. And then later we will repot a few seedlings that needed that I dropped. I put them to the side, and we will repot them later today. And maybe if we find one container where the seedlings look bad, then maybe we're doing that with them too. Okay, yeah, this one here, I want to spray them for now, just watering. Let me see if I can put that top on my legs. No, it's also bad. No, this is not flying. There's no perfect solution for that. I want to show what I do, but I also don't want to flood the desk. Yesterday, when I was done, the desk looked like horrible, like a mud landscape, like a swamp. Okay, I want to take out the remnants of a seedling here that didn't survive. I've seen that earlier. Check it out. This is just spines. When you lose a seedling, they will just dry up. Apart from that, yeah. I repotted them recently, and I hope that they will start to grow into the new soil now. Right now, I'm not perfectly happy with them. They just don't look good. Might still have to do with before I move them into the new soil. But I really need to keep an eye on them. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to water the soil here to get the soil to a point where I can start moving a few of the seedlings. I can feel it still dry below the top layer. And that usually means that you can accidentally injure the root if you are pushing too hard on a seedling. Okay. Yeah, and I just want to move one or two of the seedlings a little bit deeper into the soil. I wanted to look at the root system here. Not really liking what I see. I might actually move these into new soil. But it can't, like, I think we have repotted them just recently. This is already the second generation soil, and I just try to see if we need to repot them again. Yeah. For now, this is okay, but this is on the list of plants of containers where I might have to do something again. Yeah, these have been looking bad, but I'm not sure. Sometimes it takes 2 weeks or so. Once you are transplanting seedlings in a new container, in a new medium, then of course, like the ones where the stress was too much, you will lose them within those 2 weeks. So we will wait and see how they will do within the next couple of weeks. Eventually, they should start, if everything's all right, they're in a new soil, if everything is okay, they should start to grow healthily now. If they still do poorly next time, we will repot them again. But right now, I believe the damage that I've seen here was from previously, from the soil before. Okay. I try to let the soil dry up in between all the time. Earlier today, I walked around between, had a look at all the containers to decide which ones I'm bringing in for the live stream, and I really only brought the ones where I feel like they need water now. Some of them have been somewhere in the middle. You can usually see how much humidity is in the soil by the more humidity is in there, the darker it is. Yeah, and if the soil was too dark, I just left them under the lamp. And right now, what we have here usually needs more water. In this container, I consider to separate. Yeah, we will separate them. I don't like how this looks now. After a certain time, the soil is just done. So let's move them. Not, sometimes you just have to do it instead of talking about it for 2 weeks. So let's do that. Yeah, and I'm using the last soil. This is the last of the sowing soil that I have. After that, we have to wait until the new one has arrived. Okay. Yeah, and I brought pots here. Also, some of the last, I would buy new ones. Within the next couple of weeks, we will have everything we need for the next year. We can film the whole year and do stuff. And I'm looking forward to that. Would be great. So I will fill that pot up now with sowing soil. Very, very basic. You can get sowing soil everywhere. Not trying to have too much of a, complicated equipment. And also, this is easy to use. That's why I use it. Hey, good morning, Robert. Great to see you. Hope you're all right. Yeah, it's a busy time right now. I'm in the middle of getting the different stuff that I need for the season, that I need to buy. Everything from pots to soil, a microphone, a camera, that kind of stuff, Will be a busy season, trying to get a few hard drives that I can, on a regular basis, do like backups, data backups, video backups, and all that stuff. And when I'm constantly filming in summer, my smartphone is filled within a day usually. So I need a few hard drives to back up. And yeah, I'm happy that I can do it. That is the best kind of start for the season that I could have had. Okay, so I just want to start moving the seedlings now. But there's a lot of water in there. I'm not sure what to do with that. Let me just see if I can get rid of that water. I have a little, this here. Let's take this out. Okay. I don't want to have that huge kind of mud slide here. Okay. All right. Yeah, and these seedlings I want to take out of the pot. The reasons are that the seedlings are too deep in the pot, just a little bit, but it's a little bit too much than I want. Also, this is the first generation soil, and that soil had a lot of issues with fungus gnats. And slowly but steadily, I'm potting in new soil. Yeah, and this is one of the ones that I would love to see in new soil because the seedlings are healthy, and I know that they have potential. But gotta be careful that it stays like that. You always got to continue to respect them, otherwise you can lose them. So this is the new soil. I will have to get me a different type type of thing here, type of container that isn't so tall. Okay, so I'm moving the seedlings. This is bad. Look. Go away. So I'm moving the seedlings, just putting them on top of the soil carefully, trying to work a little cleaner this time. Yeah, and I always place the seedlings on top of the soil. Then I would spray them, spray everything that the soil here is a little bit more flexible. When soil is too dry, then you can't push the seedlings in without injuring the little root that they have. And by the way, here's a seedling that I pulled out without a root. This is just the base, and it should have a tiny, tiny root, but unfortunately, either something got it or it stayed in the soil. Got to be really careful when you're pulling them out of the soil. Here, this one has it. Always helps when you can see a little dirt. That means that the root should be on. I really don't like when I pull a seedling out of the soil and there's absolutely no dirt attached to it, no dirt at the root. It usually means the root is not okay. Otherwise, it would have already started to root a little. Okay. Yeah, most of the roots here, they look good. I'm happy with them. And it is exactly the right decision to move them now. The longer you wait, the higher the chances that something might happen that damages the little roots. These are chilies. These are different types of chili that we have grown on the live stream. You know, the kind of spicy kind of plant. Looking forward to them. They are just starting to flower. Thank you. Hey everyone, welcome to the live stream. Great to see you. Yeah, I'm just moving seedlings from old seed and new seed, from old soil and new soil. And yeah, I introduced the new tub and it's too tall. It's like I'm talking with my head in a bucket. So I might have to get me a smaller one. Okay, I'm almost done. By the way, yesterday I started the big watering of the season, of the new season. I haven't dried it yet because I want to film it later today. I want to do it. Like this morning before I did the live stream, I thought about, should I film it now? Should I do it right away? But then I realized I need to do that outside because it looked like it's going to be a huge mess. And I want to film it. So what I will do later is I will get me the tripod and I get me the sieve and the passion fruit, and then we will clean that thing in a video. So that will be coming online during the day. And then we can maybe sow them out within the next 2 or 3 live streams. But yeah, I started the watering. And I finally found a way to hook up the long water hose. I'm very happy. You're welcome. So yesterday, I finally also found a way to get that water sprayer on top of the water hose, attached to the water hose in the front. And that thing was amazing. Like I also posted a video. I was so blown away by that. That is such a huge update for me. So much progress, you know. I'm a simple guy. I'm a simple carry the water can to the plants kind of guy. And yesterday when I was spraying with that thing, I think I was able to water the plants in 1/5 of the time that I would usually take. So that was monumental for me yesterday. I was really happy. That will save me so much time this season, and it will make the plants look so much better. Also because I can finally control the water pressure a little bit better. In the past, it's so much more efficient. In the past, I always put my sump in front of the water hose to generate pressure so I can shoot the water throughout the greenhouse to reach the plants, to reach the plants in the back, way in the back, you know. So I was so blown away and I was feeling so dumb, you know. I thought, why didn't you look for ways to hook this system up a little earlier, you know? I had issues. For one, in general, I have issues, and I also had issues like trying to get the water hose. They had a different diameter. That system that I was using on the tap had a different diameter, so I couldn't click them in, you know. But now I finally have a fitting water hose, and now everything works, you know. And I could have had that maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Yes, sometimes I'm just, and I can't really fully explain it, but I'm very intelligent some days. I'm incredibly bright. I have genius moments, but sometimes I'm behaving so dumb, you know, like where I feel like, how can you be smart and dumb at the same time? And I manage. I can do it. I don't know why. I don't know why. At this point, I really feel like it's autism. It's really the only explanation that I have at that point. Like, because when I was young, when I was a teenager, not a teenager, when I was a young child, maybe 10, my parents had me checked, you know, they brought me to the doctor and had me checked for autism. And yeah, the guy said, you know, he's probably just a quirky kid. And yeah, but I feel like if they had realized that a little sooner, maybe my life would have been, you know, slightly different. There are moments when the solution is so obvious, you know. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So yeah, I want to move the seedlings now. I would have loved to. Let me get that other thing that I usually have, like that flat kind of thing that keeps the dirt from constantly falling out here. There's just no perfect solution right now. Give me a second, okay? So this is the thing that I had before. We might be able to use this one for the next time. Think maybe I'm cleaning this one up and then we're working with this one. That would be great. This is perfect. This is the one that I'm going to use next time. Okay. Yeah, let's water spray them a little bit. And this is the rest of the pot. This is the old soil, by the way. And here you can see why I'm changing. Check this out. These are huge pieces of actual wood that is in that soil. For the plants outside in the greenhouse, it wasn't that huge of an issue, like the bigger plants, because during winter they should be completely dry. And if that soil dries fast. That soil became inside, like with the seedlings, that soil dried usually within a day at the most. On some days even faster, even just a few hours, you know. And yeah, but these pieces of wood that take so long to dry out, and you always have these hot spots inside where you have a big chunk of wood, and that can really keep fungus gnats alive. So that's why I'm getting rid of that more and more. So let's spray them, and then I will carefully push them in the soil. Yeah, I will keep that in mind. That's not a bad idea. I will keep that in mind. I will try it with that smaller thing, with the one that's not so tall. We will try that out tomorrow, and if that doesn't work, maybe I'm cutting one like a flow hood, you know, like for doing the mushroom stuff. But yeah, we'll see. I think it will work with that other one. It's okay. All right, so what I will do now is I will just carefully push the seedlings into the soil. And the new soil here, this is sowing soil. It's okay. It's a good soil. Don't need to overcomplicate things. The only thing that I really try to do with the sowing soil is taking out the big pieces of wood. Sometimes this is also like, this is wood bark. A large part of sowing soil consists of wood bark, but it's so finely ground that you can use it, that it's easier to use, that it dries out faster. If you have these big pieces of wood, it takes much longer to dry. Okay, and I will try to get the seedlings a little bit deeper into the new soil now. I want them to, like, I want the base to be a little bit safe, a little bit away. This was a little bit too much. Yeah, I'm not so worried. I'm not so worried that I would start sieving, you know, that I would really invest a lot of time sorting it out with the sowing soil. The sowing soil is specially sold for sowing out. And in that case, everything is a little bit finer. It was just that the other soil was sold for outside, for placing them on outside garden beds and that kind of stuff. And of course, that takes a while. Let me see, what's that? Yeah, I'm not sure why the auto moderator has filtered it out. I approved that other comment about the larger chunks of soil. I approved that comment. I'm not sure why it filtered it out, but sometimes it does that. I'm running that thing at a strict setting because we had so much spam in the beginning, and every now and then it filters a genuine message. Okay, little bit more water, and in general there are one or two where I really don't like how the base looks like, the minimum, like the little root. I try to get them firmly into the soil and in a way that kind of protects them. But I'm not sure if we can save them all. We will see. In the new soil, they definitely have a much higher chance now. One of the things that I like, the big difference that I'm doing today that I didn't do in the beginning is really repotting seedlings very often. And that had a huge influence on the general outcome, how many of them make it long term. It's easy to get cactus seeds to germinate, and it's much harder to keep them alive long term. Yeah, and the more often I repot, the more often you kind of ditch the problems in the old soil. You can already, like, the pH level can already get out of balance if the soil dries up too much. And I'm using a fertilizer that comes with a pH buffer, but that can only compensate for so much. Okay. By the way, these are Hilde seedlings. Interesting. For Hilde they look pretty okay. They look pretty good. So yeah, within the next week, I think we will start streaming from outside. I want to start cleaning the video set, the outside video set, and maybe I'm live streaming that. Okay, so I wanted to show you these. One thing that we might actually do sometime soon is applying a little, just a tiny topping layer of pumice, of washed pumice, and just very carefully and in a way that still allows me to see how much water is in the soil. I really want to be able to judge how dry the soil is by just looking at it. But we will try to find a middle ground. Maybe I want to show you, here's a similar container that I you know, maybe a little bit more, just to have a large part of the soil covered, but still visible how fast it dries out. Sometimes you just don't see it with a topping layer. Over the summer, we will just stream from outside. This is basically just the winter stream. We will be live streaming every morning in the future. My plan is to start at 9, probably 9 or 10, and then do 1 or 2 hours live stream from outside. And the flowering time starts around May. And right now, still all the cleanup work, preparation, doing everything that I need to do to get started with filming. I brought out the heaters from the greenhouses. Yeah, now I'm watering for a few times, and then we will start streaming from outside. Will be great. Okay. Yeah, these are the ones that I've just used as an example with the topping layer. Like I said, if we're using it, we're using a little bit more, but I feel like this has helped them. This has really helped them to kind of keep away the pests that try to get to the seedlings. It's not much, but you are covering a little bit of the soil. And you're keeping a little bit condensation below that, those stones. That can be good, that can be bad, you know? It always depends on if you are able to see how wet the soil is. If you have a topping layer and there's just rotten water below, then it, of course it's bad, and that happens quite often with topping layers. Sometimes a topping layer kind of traps the humidity, and I really want to avoid that. Okay. So these need water now, and I will spray them a few times. I want to spray them until the soil gets to a point where I can move those little seedlings that have fallen over. 1 or 2, they are just a little bit out of the soil, nothing bad. But I always try to get the soil flexible before I do that. Okay. This should be enough. Yeah, and these really need to be better in the soil. Here's another one that I corrected a little bit. Most of the seedlings have a good connection. They just need to be watered. Here's a little seedling on the outer area of the pot that looks like a variegated seedling that doesn't really have a chance. It didn't really grow like compared to the other seedlings. So these are the others, and here in center there, that little thing in center here is a variegated seedling that didn't grow normally. The others are growing much faster. So I will let that water sink in, and then when that has had a little bit of time to take in the water, that will go under the lamp again. Maybe a little bit more into in the shade, because the seedlings are still a little bit smaller. I don't want to overdo it with the light. And when we're watering, I always only try to water as much as can dry within a few hours. I don't want to overdo it with the watering either. These here, I want to maybe repot very soon. Let me see what we have here today. Okay. We have so many to repot. Maybe we shouldn't invest too much time with the ones where it isn't so bad yet. Like with the space, there are some containers that are full where we need to replant them. So yeah, I will water these here, but I would really like to move the seedlings into new soil here. This was the first generation of soil, and after 2 or 3 months, for one, like I said, the pH level could be off. Sometimes it just has dried up so often that it becomes hard to use, especially for little seedlings. So maybe we will repot them sometime soon within the next live streams. Okay. So now I really need that top thing, because this is going to be dirty. Let me just put this aside, bring in the top, and then I'm moving seedlings here from these. I've dropped a few seedlings, and I would do my best to find the seedlings now, all of them, and pot them up. So this is the starting point. And hopefully in maybe 20 minutes, we will have healthy seedlings in the pot again. I will get new soil now. Okay. And I really try to press, really want to have the soil in the pot firmly. I don't want to have too much sink down when I'm starting to water. And now I just look for the seedlings. I'll just get this thing here. I think they are covered everywhere, like covered with soil. I just threw everything in there, everything in the square pot. And now I'm trying my best to find every seedling again. And then we will pot them up. This is not good. Unhealthy seedlings will not get back into the soil. Placing them on top of the soil here. Next time I will have a little lower top, a little bit lower top, that you can see it a little bit better. For now, this is all I have. Yeah, let's empty this thing out here. Okay. All right. Oh, it's always such a mess when I'm working here. It's just gardening inside the house. Okay. There's a little bit more space in this pot, so I will bring in a few of the other seedlings from the other one. Should be the same, right? Let me see. Yeah, these are the same. I dropped 2 containers, both containing the same type of seedling, and that was good. If that hadn't happened, I now had mixed seedlings, which I really don't like to have. Okay. So check them out here. These are the seedlings now. Okay, and now I sprayed it a little to get the soil the way I want it. Here's a big piece of wood that I don't want. I don't want to have anything that bothers the seedlings, that grows too close to them, or something that could even, like where the seedling could even grow into, and then you don't get it out again. That has happened just in the last live stream. So I try to avoid that. And if there's a few pieces of wood in that thing, it's not that huge deal. Like if it's further down in the pot, but if it's close to the seedlings, I really try to avoid it. Okay. Yeah, and I'm always careful with the little root, always making sure that I don't injure it. Usually try to create a little hole with the tweezers here for that seedling, for the root of the seedling, and then I push the seedling into that hole, and carefully, but because eventually the seedling will give in. If you press too hard, they don't have a lot of, they maybe have the same kind of, they take the same amount of pressure like as a grape, you know, like a little bit like a grape, green grape. If you press against the grape, it's roughly the same as it is with a seedling, with a cactus seedling. So there's a limit. Yeah. I want to do more of that in the videos. Sometimes I would love to have like a way to then switch the camera angle and show what I'm doing. So we will be experimenting with that in the future. Especially when I'm outside. Okay. So I'm cleaning again. Some point the seedlings are so covered in dirt, and that makes it harder and harder to work. Yeah, I'm just currently shopping for a GoPro or a camera like the GoPro. I'm looking at the GoPro 10, and I want to carry that thing, and I want a harness with it that I can carry, and we'll see how that works, you know. I'm currently experimenting a lot. I want to get me a microphone, a good microphone that I can sit here and don't have to shout all the time. Thank you, Robert. For one, I want to use it for time lapse. Maybe I've seen videos where it did time lapse and it was great, and also just for carrying it, you know, just for having it. Maybe on a harness at the chest. And that could work very well when I'm gardening outside, maybe repotting. Like I said, because I made that video for the books, I was able to finally buy things that I wanted to buy for years. I'm currently looking at a microphone by a company called Shure. Shure. Yeah, some sort of a really good microphone that I'm looking at. And it's not an ad, you know, they're not paying me. I need to pay it. I need to buy it myself. So yeah, I'm just looking at different microphones, and that was one that came up a lot, that was recommended a lot. And it's a really good one. And I could maybe attach that to the desk here beside me. I just need a way to kind of bundle it with the smartphone, and I hope that that will work. Right now, to be honest, I'm a little bit overwhelmed with everything. Right now, I'm trying to get everything that I need for the whole season, and yeah, I don't want to make mistakes, you know, because like when I'm buying a different model, sometimes you buy a model that doesn't have the right kind of cable, you know, cable on the back. So it's kind of, I'm trying not to make any mistakes when I'm buying this kind of stuff. I spent the last 2 days looking into cameras, looking into different GoPros, looking into different microphones. Yes, thank you. I will look into it. At this point, I was just Googling for the best kind of microphone for podcasting, for streaming, and yeah, the one name that came up a lot was Shure. I think that's how it's spelled, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure, but I have saved 1 or 2 of these where I'm watching them and consider to get one. If I can get it for a certain price, then I will get one and try to attach it here. I just hope that, it would be ideal if that would work via Bluetooth or something like that, but I couldn't really find something about that, and that's what I will do later today. Okay. Maybe we can get them all into one pot. So yeah, and I'm looking at these little square pots that we're using here on the live stream. Maybe I'm buying 500 or 1,000 of them. Think in the future I will have a regular use also of sowing soil. So far, I think we have used up 3 bags in a month. Just with the live stream, just with repotting what we're doing here. Okay. Yeah, maybe we can get them all into one pot. It's getting a little bit full. But there are not that many left, I think. Yeah, I think we should split them up probably. I don't want them too close. This is not good. Let's put them further apart. I will get another pot. I just, sometimes I'm trying to conserve space here, grow space, but the closer you have them together, that can also cause a lot of issues. So yeah, let's take them apart. Let's take them a little bit further apart. Okay. So, yeah, and this is Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung and Cantora crossed with Bamboy. We only had them here recently. I had just repotted them and then they fell. Someone pushed them over the 2 containers. Potentially me, probably. This time Kami was completely innocent. Usually when something happens, it's usually Kami, but yeah, in this case, I have no excuse. But the seedlings here, they look good. They have looked great from the beginning. Important to now give them all the space that they need. Okay. There are more and more seedlings also. Something fell over. In every live stream, I keep saying that I will never sow out so many seeds again. And I need to say it in this live stream too. Thank you. This is the clothing company, I think. This is a shirt of the clothing company Diesel. I think they're doing jeans. At least that's how I know them. This is something that I just got on some sort of a marketplace thing. It's one of the vintage shirts that I still came across, and it gets harder and harder to get them. Okay. This whole vintage scene, a lot of resellers that are pushing up the prices. Okay. Yeah, so I split them up now. Same way they were before, but this time I'm trying not to drop them again. Okay, and I want to spray them for one to clean, and also so I can push the seedlings in the way I want them here. In this container, I'm almost done already. The other one needs more work. Okay. So every time I'm moving a seedling, just creating a hole with whatever you have, piece of wood, tweezers, piece of plastic, everything that can't injure the seedling, you know, something more blunt, nothing that can pierce the skin. This one here is just barely usable, and I have to be very careful because it could already be too much depending on in which angle you hit the seedling. So I'm really careful about not injuring them when I handle them with this. I usually try to grab them at the root, pick them up carefully, and then I create the hole for the seedling, and then I push it in. Later we will experiment a little bit with pumice. I will fill us a little bag that I can bring it in the live stream, so we can maybe sprinkle it a little bit on top of the soil, around the seedlings a little bit, but it's not going to be much, just a little bit, just as a covering layer, and not a full one. I really got to say that every time, because people hear covering layer and think it's always a good idea. It isn't. It's just a good idea if you still know what's going on below, and if the soil still dries up. And it depends on where you have the plant. If you have a plant with a covering layer that is always in the shade, then it's a very bad idea. But if you have a plant in the sun where you can never water enough because it's dehydrating more and more, then it might bring you a little bit of buy you a little bit of time where you have to water less, a little bit less. And in this case, they're inside under the plant lamp. I can decide how much light they get. If you can't control humidity and light, then a covering layer might not be a good idea. Okay. So this is done. Seedlings will need time again. Usually it takes a few weeks to sink in, to fully grow into the new soil, and until that happens, we might have to fix a little bit here and there, move a seedling here and there, Usually when you start watering them in new soil, they just don't have that stability from the root yet. So they can sometimes fall over a little bit when you water. You just have to fix that until the roots have grown. And that will happen within a couple of weeks or so. Okay, yeah, let's get some more. These need water. This is new. These are in new soil now. And for now they're looking good. They're growing. You can see the new spines, like that whitish center. Means they're growing healthily. They just need water for now. I might have to correct 1 or 2 seedlings, but nothing drastic. This already looks very good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I have a few different ones. One of them is a little bit blunter than the other. Okay. In this container, I'm pretty happy. They have developed great in the new soil. Very often when I repot, I'm not entirely happy with how the seedlings look. So in this case, they are on a good path. They are growing. Just have to water them. Can't forget it. But I always try to let it dry up in between. Okay, so then we have small ones. And with these, I really try to find a middle ground between watering too much, and just watering enough. Somewhere in the middle. I usually water them every time I see that the soil has dried up. And yeah. And I really look at the health of the soil. When you have soil that is continuously wet, without pause, then eventually you can really see that it gets this dirty kind of top, that dirty look to it, where you can just see that seedlings will get damping off in it. And I try to avoid that here. With these kind of seedlings, with this small size, you really have to walk a fine line, always letting the soil dry out, but you can't wait for long. I really need to clean up here. Next time I'm bringing that other box that is only this tall, and that will allow me to show the stuff while I do it. That will be much better. Same here, two very small seedlings, and these are pretty delayed. So for now, they just need to be watered relatively often. At this point, I can't tell if they will make it or not. If they don't make it, then that's okay. There's so many healthy seedlings that are just growing, that are much bigger. Yeah, that I just see what happens. We will wait and see. If some seedlings decide to stay behind, we will look if there's a reason for that, and if there's no reason, then yeah, okay, then we will have to do something else, like give other seedlings the space. These look okay. These are still in the first generation of soil, but they are still okay. Want to repot them sometime soon because they are already too deep. Everything has settled in a little bit too much. But for now, they look healthy. Just watering them. We have so many that need repotting that it's sometimes good if you can wait a little longer with some others. These have been repotted, new soil. They now need to be watered on a regular basis until they get a little bit settled in. But they have healthy spines. I can really see healthy growth here. I'm not seeing huge issues with the soil. Not seeing issues with fungus gnats. So that's perfect. I'm very happy here. I'm just trying to get the soil to a point where I can move the seedlings a little bit easier. A few of them are just not perfectly in the soil. And that usually leads to dehydration. The seedlings that are a little bit less well positioned in the soil, very often these will dehydrate first. So you can literally look at the seedlings that are doing poorly, and it tells you where you might have to fix something at the root, or maybe where there are problems waiting at the root. Sometimes you don't see it until you really look closely at the roots. So I'm just trying to clean this up a little. Some of the seedlings had started to lean over. So just trying to balance out the seedlings a little bit. But I'm happy here. These are on a good path. For now, that will come back to the plant lamp. These here need water. Yeah, also for now, they are growing. Some of them look healthier than others. Trying to water these here a little bit more until the next time. And I will spray them a few times now. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Great to have you. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so we're going through the seedlings here. A lot of watering that needs to be done. Decided to water a little bit more in January now. I feel like the plants, the biggest problems with the fungus gnats are over. So I would just try to spray the plants, like water them exactly according to what they need. You always have to keep in mind that the more you water, the more you can also cause more problems. More water doesn't always mean that it's better for the seedlings. That depends, you know, depends on how dry the soil is. Depends on if there are other things that they compete against. Yeah. So here was a seedling that I needed to put a little deeper in the soil. But this is good. Then I have these here. These have been very delayed. Check it out. And now they are in new soil. They are green. Some of them have spines, but they are not totally normally healthy seedlings. They need water now. Because of the small size, these don't have a lot of resources. Yeah, we would see. For now, some of them look like they will make it, but it depends. You know, we can't. They don't have a lot of room. They don't have a lot of room for error. Can't make any crucial mistakes here. For now, this is okay. And the soil has been so dry that I needed to do this a few times to get everything flexible again. So you can just move the seedlings a little bit and they will sink to where you want to have them. Can't do that very well in dry soil. In dry soil, it's a little bit more dangerous for the root. Yeah, but there are some of the seedlings, they are barely growing. What is this? Teleflora, probably, the way they look. Yeah, Teleflora. We will see. Teleflora is great. I love it. But sometimes the seedlings are weak. Here's seedlings that I transplanted. New soil, little bit more space. Yeah, and for now, here's one that didn't survive the transplanting. I will take that out. This is just skin and spines. I will remove that because it can always be a source for contamination. Yeah, apart from that, yeah, this is okay. We're on a good path here. They don't have to be perfect. They just have to continue to live. That is all that I expect right now. So a little bit more water here. Cleaning up, cleaning that one seedling up that was in the middle here. Now I need to wait. Soil is still too dry, and I can feel it. I just tried to create a little entry for a seedling, and when you can feel it breaking, soil being firm below, then it's just not. Then it needs a little bit more water, needs a little bit more time. And this is exactly why I often like to switch seedlings from old soil into new soil. At some point, the soil can become unusable. Okay. At the very least, for a beginner, it can be hard to get the soil back to where it needs to be. If you're using a pH buffer, that already helps a lot, in my opinion, because a lot of the problems with older soil come from the pH level. At some point, the pH level can become unsustainable, like where life isn't really having a great time in it. At least not the seedlings that we have. I like to have the pH between 5.5 and 6.5. And yeah, the pH buffer should actually settle it there at that range. But it doesn't mean if you have a soil where you have an imbalance with micronutrients, sometimes you need more of a certain particular micronutrient that is just not in the soil anymore. And if you do not know, and if you're not filling up, then the seedlings will continue to look horrible. And if you want to make sure, you can always change the soil. With the little seedlings, you can easily lose them, but if you don't injure the root, they should usually take it. But of course, there will always be seedlings that don't, that you lose just because it's stress. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to. These have been watered earlier. These here need water. Also a candidate for singling out for repotting. And I've had these behind the ventilator, behind the fan. And for that, they look great. They have gotten a little less water. And they look great. So here, 3 little seedlings. This is Echinopsis glauca. And if I can get one plant from these, I'm one of the happiest people on earth. They haven't been growing. They haven't been growing much, but I haven't given up. This is a cool species. And this is a hybrid with bamboy, I think. So I will fight for these. I will really fight for them. Here, Teleflora. This is one of the containers where we will repot very soon. For now, they are still looking okay. Trying to water them on a regular basis. To keep the old soil. This is first generation soil. and I want to keep that from becoming too dry. Okay. Yeah, this will come back to the lamp. 12 hours of light, 12 hours of darkness, and they are growing. They are growing nicely with that. If you have issues, let's say you have a situation where the seedlings, where the soil doesn't dry up fast enough, you could just increase the hours of sunlight. You could also give them 18 hours of light. It's just that the more sunlight you have, the more light you give them, the more electricity it costs, you know? Yeah, they can be really tall. Some really nice tall plants. Okay. I would love to plant out cacti here. I would love to do it. Unfortunately, they will not survive the winter. It's raining too much. It's not even the temperature. The temperature is also a deal breaker, but I feel like the rain is an even bigger problem. Okay, yeah, these here, by the way, check it out. I'm not sure what to think of them. They looked yellow from the beginning. Then I fertilized. Now I've seen a little color change in some, but not in all. This could have variegation issues, genetically caused discoloration. We would see they have nutrients. They shouldn't be yellow. And it started from the beginning. I already said in one of the first live streams that these look weird and nothing has changed. Okay. Yeah, these I want to water again because the seedlings look dirty. I really try to, when I repot seedlings, when I'm done, I want them clean. I want them to be able to have photosynthesis, you know, to be able to produce a little bit of chlorophyll with the light that they get. And if they're completely dirty, that can have an influence. That can take away some of the little capability of photosynthesis that they have. Okay, this goes back under the lamp. I think the soil will take a day to dry, and then I will have it back again tomorrow, probably. These here, check it out. These need to come out of the pot. This is too many, like so often. And you can see the dehydration on some of them. So we might have to take them apart very soon. I'm just in every episode of the live stream, we are repotting something different. There's so many different things that that have to be repotted here. So this needs a little water. Yeah, and some of the seedlings are dehydrated. And if you don't react to that, you will lose those in between. They will just dry up. At some point, when you see seedlings drying up in between, very often it is drying out, dehydration, or root issues. I would look for mealybug. In our case, there's just not enough space for the seedlings, so we will have to do that. They will get a new pot. Maybe we can split them up over 2 or 3. I hate it. I really hate it. It's going to be too many everywhere. So these here, looking okay. First generation of soil. Would love to repot, but there are others that need it more. So for now, this will just get water. And tomorrow I will have that. I will try to get that thing here so I can spray in this and can show in this container And that will allow me to have a cleaner desk and do it and show you how they look and water and repot. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so this will go back to the lamp. For now, it's okay. They are too deep in the pot. Like at some point, the less soil you put in there in the beginning, the deeper they will be eventually. When the water starts coming out of the bottom, it always takes a little bit of the soil with it. And that's why it's sometimes important to put in like as much soil as you need. Fill up the pot. And we will fix that next time, or the moment we are done with singling these out, stuff like that. You know, the really busy containers, they will need to be repotted first. So here's one, and this had already been repotted, and it's getting to the borders of the pot again. For now, just water. In the future, if I sow out more than 30 seeds, I will have to, I will have to say something. Some kind of sanity has to kick in and has to remind myself that I'm overdoing it. I really need to, in the future, sow out less. Okay. Yeah, here was a seedling that didn't make it. Just remove the dead skin. Apart from that, everything that is busy, like every pot where there are too many seedlings, they must come out. All of them eventually. So one after the other, we will do one after the other. And eventually, I hope that we can sort out. We will graft on some of the seedlings where we have too many. Yeah. Okay, so here's a seedling that I want to remove. Like, see this down there? This needs to be cleaned. Otherwise, it would attract mealybug. Too much organic stuff that's in the pot will always cause problems. It's attracting pests. It's causing, it's trapping humidity, and that can lead to damping off. Here's a question. Ultimately, what happens to all these cacti once they're grown? Do you sell them in a nursery? I'm not a seller. I have absolutely no intention to become a nursery. I'm currently super happy doing live streaming, doing video work. With the bad health that I have, I will never be able to carry the heavy packages anymore. When you're selling large plants, packing a huge one, having all that stress, I can't deal with that anymore since I've been so ill, So my goal is just to grow good stuff here. We will grow many interesting plants here. Just propagation. And eventually everything that is great, everything that deserves to be propagated, I will make them available. I will propagate them for someone, or someone will take over the propagation for me. Probably the latter, to be honest. Because I really try to have less work with that. So everything that, I will try to show the flowering plants, and if there's really a hybrid that must be propagated, then I will make arrangements that someone can put energy into propagating it. I have a lot of seedlings by other breeders, that kind of stuff, I might, with the Uwe Kala hybrids, if there's one that is really good, I would definitely give it to him so he can propagate more. So a lot of the future will be in propagation. Propagation, growing, but not selling. It's just, and there's so much bureaucracy, like in Europe. Like for every plant you would have to get like a plant, like a plant pass, you know, like a paperwork for every seedling, for every plant separately. And that kind of a bureaucracy, I can't do that in my life anymore. I'm just glad if I have a few more years where I can do what I love. That's why I enjoy that so much. And yeah, everything else, I'm not really worried about selling for money. That is never my priority. Yeah, eventually we will sort out. Eventually I will sort out. Maybe I will donate a few plants here and there for propagators. I would definitely not. You need a lot of energy. You need a lot of time to sell. And I just don't have the setup to sell. I don't have like a huge setup to propagate right now. I would, even if I wanted, even if I had more work power, like just the manpower that you need to do that. If I had that, and I don't, if I had it, you still need a lot of space that I don't have. So for me, I will try to every year sort out really a lot. Every year I need to sort out hundreds of plants. So in summer with the live stream, there will be hundreds of plants that we have to sort out, just so I continue to have enough space. Yeah. And if you are selling plants is not easy. You have to make sure they're all perfectly beautiful, they're healthy. You need space for propagation. You need to water them. You need to, every propagation that you sell, you have to water, you know. So yeah, I'm really not that into the idea of having a nursery. I never wanted to have that because nurseries are in trouble these days. A lot of them are not doing well financially. They are competing with the big stores, with the big garden stores, and they have a bad time with that. They, like a lot of my friends have smaller nurseries, and eventually the work catches up. It's enormous amounts of work that you have to do. And yeah, there are more and more of these propagators that just, if you have one of these rare plants that's really worth money, they will very fast buy it up and propagate it in huge amounts. So there's only a limited amount of money to be made there. I'm seeing my future in video stuff that we're doing. Every year could already be the last where I'm filming, you know. So yeah, very soon we will start grafting on some of the seedlings. That is a good way to deal with excessive seedlings, just using them as grafting stock. If they have reached maybe 6 months, they could be a decent grafting stock for the very small seedlings. Okay. So yeah, this needs a little bit water here. I'm maybe halfway through with the seedlings that needed water. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, every year could be the last. I'm saying this really every year, and I mean it every year. I've just had the first tick of the season, like the first new tick bite of 2026. And yeah, I was really ill. We will see how the season will go with the tick bites. I'm really trying to stay healthy this year, like not get Lyme disease again this year. In the previous years, the moment I was over the Lyme disease, I got a new infection. Where I live, there's just a lot of grassland. Okay. So these need water. A little bit smaller, but they're okay. They're growing. They just need water. Can't be dehydrating too much, so I need to spray them a few more times here. Waiting for the water to sink in a little. Yeah, thank you. I'm doing great. I'm okay. Like all my life, I had health issues, or I had stuff that I had to overcome, and it brought me here, you know, didn't hold me back. Maybe it delayed things for me a little bit, but I'm exactly where I want to be right now. We're going to have a great season, and yeah, I will film as many seasons as I can. I just hope that things get a little easier in the future. Like with the channel growing, I have a good situation. This could be great, you know. It just needs to get a little easier for me. So yeah, this needs a little bit more water now, and then it can go back. Would love to continue repotting. Let me see how late it is. Yeah, we have a little bit more time. Yeah, summer's going to be great. I'm currently preparing everything, to film everything, to have all the charging cables that I need. Trying to really have a nice setup this year. Nice setup with the tripod, good tripod. That would be great, you know. It means a lot if you can, like if I'm doing a time-lapse video with a flower, it means a lot if I can completely adjust the angle that I'm recording in. That makes such a big difference. So I'm looking forward to having a new tripod. Yeah, thank you. I'm doing my best. Okay, these here need a little water. Yeah, so I believe I will finish the watering now. And I brought these again. These are the ones in the takeaway containers. Ones in the takeaway containers looked a little worse, but not much. But they need water. So I put these aside. I'm actually running out of water here. Yeah. Might have to get me a little bit new water. But I want to get them all watered up today. And then I might do a little bit more repotting. At least in one of the containers. There's these containers that are so full of seedlings that it needs excessive work, and I might have to start in these. Okay. So I will move this aside. This is a huge mess again. If everything goes well, this will be the last time I have this thing here, this tray, because it's a mess. Because every time I lose balance and it's all over. Just a second, okay? I just need to move this aside. Just need to put that somewhere in a bin. Ah! Okay. I'm getting new water. Give me a second. Okay. New water. Yeah, in long term, I really want to have a little tub here that I'm not always having this big of a mess here. Yeah, I once again, everything's dirty, you know? Everything is dirty. When I'm doing this live stream, it usually takes a while to prepare and it usually takes a while to clean up again. It's just difficult doing a gardening live stream without causing dirt. You would usually do it from outside, but it's still cold outside. It's really like, I don't know, freezing. Okay, yeah. So let's move a few of the seedlings in one of the busiest containers where it's really bad. Let me see. How it's about this one. No, this is okay. This is. Let me see. I've had a few that were so busy earlier. Where are they? Oh yeah, over there. Let's get this one. Let's take these out, okay? Because they are also too deep, and when they are this deep, they are pressing against the plastic pot from all sides, growing into all directions, and I don't like that. So yeah, let me get a new pot here. New pot with new soil. And then I would start moving seedlings into the new soil. Think we need at least 3 containers here. And I really wanna cap it at 3 containers. I don't want to have too many of one. In the future, there will be no sowing out in these huge amounts anymore. Like not at all. If I'm sowing out, I want to sow out 30 seeds at the most. Not more. This needs to be a lesson for myself. I need to learn it at least once now. Okay, so another one. Second one for all the seedlings that we have here. And I apologize if the visibility isn't perfect right now. Yeah, exactly. In the future, I don't want to have too many of one type. I rather have 100 different ones, and of every one I have 10 or 20, than to have like 200 of one type. Okay. Speaking of the devil, so I will take these out now. I will try to gently, one by one, pull them out here. Pretty decent root already. So the seedlings look okay. They're not unhealthy, you know. It's just at some point there's no space for them. So I'm slowly taking them out here. I haven't watered the soil right now. And that is a little bit more dangerous with the roots. But it's not so dirty. It's not such a mess. Yeah, so I'm carefully trying to loosen the seedlings, get them out of the soil here so I can pull them out. And now I place them on top of the new container where I want to pot them up. I think we will have like, I don't know, 40 seedlings per container at the most. Shouldn't be more than that. There has to be some space between the seedlings to guarantee that there's enough ventilation. Yeah, I need to spray it a little bit. It's just too dry. Okay. Just a little bit. I don't like when I work and everything, like there's dust everywhere. I really like to work with minerals, with soil. I always try to have it a little bit wet, that I'm not working in the dust. That is really long term. As a cactus grower, that is a good thing. So many minerals that are everywhere when you are a cactus grower. And when they are wet, you're not standing in the middle of the dust. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to get the seedlings apart. Need to water more. This is still dry, despite the fact that I already sprayed quite a lot into it. When you have a dried up container, sometimes harder to get them all carefully separated. Can't pull so hard because the root is so fragile. Okay, yeah, I believe we need a third container, third pot. Don't think we can don't think 2 will be enough. Oh. So in the future, I will have to have a good organization here. Otherwise, this is going to be chaos, total chaos. So, okay. I brought a third container, also filled with sowing soil. And I would just gently place the seedlings on top of the soil. Just until I can start. Just so that they're there, that I know how many there that are there. And then we will start pushing them into the soil slowly, one by one. Yeah, I believe it. Like when you're working with wood, it's pretty similar. I mean, wood might be long term. It might, the lung might be capable of breaking it down eventually, but it's better not to inhale too much of it. Might cause all kinds of problems. Who knows? And the same is true with sandblasting, all that stuff where you're exposed to that kind of to those kind of things. Everything that can get inhaled, I really try to avoid it. There's so many seedlings in there. Please have mercy. Pulling more and more seedlings out of this. Jesus Christ. There are more and more. That is the issue when you have so many seedlings in a container. Sometimes you don't even see a large part of the seedlings. You might be losing them. They might be rotting somewhere down inside. I always loved to sow out quite a lot of seeds, but over the years I've become more and more careful about that. I rather have viable seeds than seedlings that I need to keep alive. You can just put the seeds aside. Maybe sometimes you can freeze them, keep them viable for years. But if you have seedlings, you really need to give them the space, give them light, give them water, and the more you have, the more difficult it becomes. I usually, like, outside when I'm dealing with the new season, when I'm beginning the new season, I get overwhelmed on a regular basis. Okay. So I need to find the label. I just realized that I haven't seen the label yet. I really hope there's a label in there. These tiny labels, I really hate them. They've been disappearing every time. I need to... I want to empty this thing out so I can see if there's a label down in the pot. Oh, I hate it. I really hate it. Oh, there's the label. I have it. I have it. This is... With these tiny labels, they easily disappear. I hate it. That. Okay. There's seedlings everywhere. So, okay, let me see the label. I want to have a look at it. Let's clean it a little. Okay, Flying Dragon Cantora. Yeah, Flying Dragon Cantora 1433. Hybrid by Walter Stocker is the mother plant. And the father is Bamboy, I think. No, Zizala. Zizala, similar hybrid. So let me spray all the containers now. Tomorrow you will have more visibility. For now, you gotta believe me that I'm spraying them. And now I want to start moving the seedlings into the soil. So I mostly have them separate now. A few of them, you know, sometimes you have these situations where you have two together. I really try to separate them then because that makes it easier to pot them up. If you have two that are stuck together, one of them is always pointing into a direction you don't want it to point. Oh yeah, and I'm making holes with my tweezers for every single seedling. This is how they look roughly. This is the size. Roughly 3 months old now. And I'm pushing them in the soil. And now this container has turned into 3. Yeah, sometimes you can, like with different types of soil, there's some very bad quality soil that had been, you know, sometimes it's infected with certain types of mushrooms. It really depends on what kind of a wood they are using and whether or not that wood was clean when they have put it in. Sometimes you can find interesting mushrooms in these kind of bags, but yeah, it's not good to have that as a competition for the seedlings. Okay, these I take apart. Trying to get rid of unnecessary soil. I don't want to have these seedlings with these huge root sections in the new pot. I want them to right away grow into the new soil. And this is one of the crosses where we will have to have a very critical look if we want to keep so many. 3 containers, Flying Dragon, Cantora, cross with Zizala. We will see. That cross has a lot of potential, but it might also be a classic Flying Dragon Cantora, the way I've seen a few of them. I have a few of them. Okay. Here's another situation. I tried to pot them up. 3 seedlings together, but it's just bad. I hate having this big box in front of me. Okay. Yeah, and this will really take a while. I need to get that box out of my face. I can't take it anymore. Go away. Leave me alone. So I will just do it here. It will be a little bit more messy, but at least I'm able to show you what I do. Because I would really want to finish this up, and with the pot, with that huge thing here, it was like I'm trying to, when they are working in the movie Outbreak, when they all have that bodysuit, that full body containment suit, it was a little bit like working with one of those. So yeah, I would spray them now just to get the soil a little bit more flexible. And also I actually want to see the seedlings. There's a lot of soil now here. Okay. Oh, this makes it so much easier to do. I now have managed to pot them up more precisely than in all the time I've been wrangling around with that bucket. Tomorrow we will try the smaller bucket. Okay. Yeah, and like I said, in this container we have three different square pots now with seedlings from Flying Dragon Cantora. We don't need so many. Eventually, some of them will be sorted out. Here's a piece of wood that I want to have out. I don't want to have a too uneven top layer of soil here. I want to have it straight, kind of equal distribution of soil. Okay. So maybe we can move a few more into this pot. This looks a little empty. Maybe I can save up. I would love to split them up just over 2 containers. But yeah. Might be a little too excessive. We will see. Ah, I pierced the seedling. Ah. But then again, we have so many. Yeah, we'll look into that. Thank you. I will look into that. I'm currently every day, there's so many new things in the live stream. Like every day is a new kind of experiment. I'm trying something new every day. If it helps, I will cut a piece out of it. We will see. But again, that health bucket could already work. We'll try that out tomorrow. Okay. So let's continue with the second one now. I really want to get these done here. So much time. So I'm trying to keep a few of the seedlings together that are so closely, that have so grown close together that it gets hard to separate them. But eventually, if they cause problems, if the little seedlings that are still in groups, if they will become, then I might actually single them out. This container here has a lot of the smaller seedlings that were on the outer areas that barely got any light. So we will see how they will develop in the new pot now. They might actually start growing now, if it's not too late for some of them. Some of them look pretty small. this is just a mess. Need to take them apart. They just don't, like if they are stuck together, it's just too hard to safely move them in the soil. Once you press against one side, you might actually injure another seedling on the other side. This one needs to be out, needs to be removed. Had no root. Without a root, it's going to be difficult. With so many seedlings that we have, we're not keeping the ones that don't even have a root. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I will look into that. I'm not sure if we will, if I need to cut, but if I do, I will do it like that, trying to get it not so sharp. So I'm looking forward being done with these seedlings here. They're really like, this is too many. It's just too many seedlings. This is so much additional time. Long term, there will be very few plants where I would keep 100 seedlings. There are some, usually stuff like pink stripes hybrids, Wurlitz hybrids, you know, Wurlitz Cantora, that kind of stuff sometimes can pay off to keep. But I really I don't want to have more than 30 seedlings in the future. And there will always be exceptions when you have a certain cross that you really want to have more of. But in general, this needs to be, someone needs to bring sanity to this live stream. Just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so this is just the beginning for these seedlings here. They really need a lot of time where we will have to correct them, and we will see what we do with them. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Great to have you here. Yeah, I'm a little bit later than I've been doing it a little longer than I wanted. But I don't want to stop in between cleaning these. Okay. Yeah, so for the future, we will just not sow out so many anymore. I promise. And I promise that to myself mostly. Okay. So I'm taking these apart here. And then I'm writing the labels, and then we're done. And I hope that, yeah, this will be a lesson for myself. At some point, there can be too much of a good thing. Thank you. Wait until we're streaming from outside, from the garden. I'm currently preparing everything so we can start live streaming from the garden. It will be amazing in summer. I'm looking forward to that. This is just the winter live stream. Classic cactus breeders live over winter. And in summer, we're taking it out. I'm not sure yet how to do it. Like I have no film plan. I just feel like we're taking the camera outside and see what happens. The moment the plants are starting to flower, that would be awesome. Okay, so here's a seedling that looks weak. I would take that out. At some point, with so many seedlings around, I'm not keeping the bad ones. There are cases when it can really, when you have no other choice and you need to keep every seedling. But in this case here, we're only keeping the ones that look healthy. Doesn't mean that you can still sort out one that has a perfect flower. That can always happen, but if you think like that, and if you stop sorting out because of that, you will have too many. There's potential in so many different things, but at some point you have to have a limit. Okay, so I'm almost done here. The moment I have that thing in the soil, I will spray them again, and then we will write the labels, just so we can keep track of what we have here. And these are from a Uwe Kahle cross between Flying Dragon, Cantora, and Zizala. Okay. Yeah, greetings to all the Australians and people from Tasmania. Always great to have you guys around. Okay. So I'm just fixing the last seedlings that have fallen over. Okay. All right, let's write labels. 2 more. And I will be using the bad labels. It's the last time that I'm using them. I hope that the new ones will arrive very soon. Just need to get my my pencil sharpener here. Okay, so this is Flying Dragon Cantora 1433. 1433 is a Reinhard Liske hybrid. Father here is Zizala. Let me see if there's a cross number. Cross number KA23 144. The mother plant is called WST 14 4 KA what? KA14, I think. Yeah, KA14. Okay. One label done, one more to go. Yeah, and this was the minimum that I had to do today. Moving one of those containers with the bad seedlings that were so full. KA23 144. WST 14. Oh, come on. Right. 14 4 KA 14. Okay. Good. So this concludes the repotting of this one container. This is just one. 1, 2, 3. So I roughly counted 30 seedlings per pot, just roughly, just counted them in the one pot here. So maybe we have something like 100 seedlings here. Yeah, and that would be way, way too much. So eventually, maybe we will scale these back at some point to one container. But for now, they stay. They have potential. Flying Dragon Cantora has huge flowers, and Zizala has amazing color. So this could be great. Okay, think this is enough. This concludes a pretty good live stream today. I really like that. No problem. No problem. I'm just preparing to go offline. I just wanted to get done with these containers here, with this one. I don't want to see it anymore. I wanted to be able to just move it away and be done with it. So yeah. Okay, guys. Think this is enough for today. Was great to be back. I appreciated everyone who was here again in the live stream. Greetings to Australia, my friends in Australia, and also United States, everyone. I hope you have a great day today. Yeah, I will be back tomorrow. Today I will probably start cleaning up outside, getting everything ready that I can start live streaming from outside. And within the next weeks, we will start. I just need a set. I need a clean set, and we will probably start with that. Cleaning the video set on a live stream, and then we're bringing the cacti there. Okay? So thank you, guys. Oops. Hope you have a great day. I will be back tomorrow. And if you have questions, just write them in the comments. Tomorrow I will have a lot of interesting new stuff again. So yeah, interesting times for the live stream. I'm looking forward to the future for the first time in quite some time, and that means something, you know? So thank you, guys. Don't work too hard, everyone. Thank you. I will be back tomorrow, same time.